57 days after my wedding, my mother-in-law took my entire salary, and my husband just stood there watching. I didn't argue. I didn't cry, I stayed silent, because I was already planning something they would never see coming. The first time she picked up my salary envelope and said, "From now on, this belongs to the family," I honestly thought she was joking, but when I looked at my husband for support, he avoided my eyes and said nothing, and in that moment his silence hurt more than her words, because it made one thing clear: I wasn't seen as a partner in this house. I was seen as an income source. That night, when I asked him if he agreed, he casually said, "It's normal. Don't make it a big deal," and something inside me shifted. I stopped reacting, stopped questioning, and became exactly what they expected: quiet, obedient, and predictable, handing over my salary every month, smiling in front of relatives, playing the perfect daughter-in-law, while inside, I was slowly turning that silence into a plan. Within weeks, I switched my salary to a private bank account. No more envelopes, no more access. And when they finally noticed, the house that once felt controlled turned hostile: taunts, accusations, constant pressure. But I let it continue because I wasn't just saving money anymore. I was collecting proof, recording every demand, every insult, every moment my husband chose to stay silent instead of standing up for me. And still I waited, because I knew the right moment would come. And it did when, 3 months later, my husband suddenly lost his job and everything changed overnight. The same people who treated me like an ATM now needed me. My mother-in-law softened her tone and said, "You're part of this family. We support each other," as if respect was something they could switch on when convenient. And that same evening, during a family gathering, she tried to publicly pressure me again, calling me selfish and disrespectful in front of everyone. But this time I didn't stay quiet. I stood up calmly, took out my phone, and pressed play, and the room froze as her own voice filled the air demanding my salary, controlling me, reducing me to nothing. And then came the louder truth: my husband's repeated silence, over and over again. And for the first time, the power in that room shifted. Eyes turned toward me with shock instead of judgment. And when my husband finally spoke, embarrassed and exposed, asking, "Why didn't you say anything before?" I simply smiled and said, "Because I didn't need to." And just when they thought it was over, I added one more thing that changed everything. I looked straight at him and said, "You didn't lose your job," and his face went pale as I continued, "I know the truth. I work with your company as a consultant now. You were fired for misconduct." And just like that, his lie collapsed in front of everyone, because he hadn't just stayed silent. He had been manipulating the entire situation to keep control over my income. But what he didn't realize was that while they were trying to control me, I was already stepping out of their reach. So I picked up my bag, looked around one last time, and said, "No more lies, no more control, no more silence." And I walked out, not into uncertainty, but into a life I had already secured weeks before, with a job transfer in another city, a fresh start where my worth wasn't measured by my salary. And now the same people who once took my money without hesitation call me, message me, asking me to come back. But I never respond, because the truth is I didn't leave to take revenge. I left because I finally understood something they never will: that the real power isn't in fighting for control, it's in realizing you were never theirs to control in the first place. Follow for more crazy stories.